each of the speakers first. And obviously, if you have a project, please talk about your project. This is a space, we've had a lot of these. For anyone who's in the audience, I only bring thoroughly vetted people onto my spaces. It's just how I roll. I don't, sometimes I'll bring up, at the end some people to speak, but like anybody that's on this panel right now, it's like putting my brand behind them and saying that like I am associated with that person. So please do speak about your projects, but then also talk to me about what's happening this year. Like, where do NFTs go from here? What opportunities are you looking in? Whether that's community, money, whatever it is, walk us through that. And no better account to start us off than the Bulls with Wall Street memes. All you Wall Street memes.
Hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, so I mean, in terms of NFTs and where I see it going, 2021 was obviously the first year that I got introduced to NFTs, that I found out about NFTs. And I mean, it's really interesting coming from an account like ours, right? Because our whole community was built on making memes, right? And at first, it was all about, the stock market. Back in 2019, when we started the page, it was themed by, we're Wall Street memes as the brand. That's our trademark. That's our corporation. But how we got popular in the beginning on Instagram is representing the Wall Street Bets movement. My partner and I were veterans from the Wall Street Bets community on Reddit. We're not associated with them, but I think we're the biggest representation of that culture and that movement on social media, aside from the Reddit page. And it was really interesting because like we had a big shift in 2021 from being strictly, options, trading, stocks strictly, to being more crypto friendly. Me personally, I've been in crypto not aggressively, but as a curious investor since 2017. And I had a shitload of Ethereum just like sitting there down like 80% at some point because I didn't buy at the top in 2017, but it was also like not the bottom, of course. And what I always saw, I mean, I read a lot about crypto and Bitcoin and Ethereum specifically, and I had a pretty big intuition that it's going to be the future of money. And how I addressed the whole thing back then in 2017, it's like if it goes to zero, it goes to zero, but maybe it's going to go really high up, so let me just hold it. Let me keep reading and educating myself about it. And, it worked out for the best, of course, with that investment. So 2021, my partner and I actually had a big brainstorm meeting, and we said, do we kind of abandon the Wall Street Bets culture and start talking about crypto? And, we're both, me personally, I was more involved in crypto than himself, but he was actually the one that pushed. He was like, let's talk about crypto, like it's, degens and aping into, trading. That's what crypto is about. And like, if the Reddit page doesn't want to like embrace the crypto culture, doesn't want to embrace NFTs specifically for this conversation, we could represent that community, and we can kind of talk about the future of money without, being completely Wall Street Bets esque. We could kind of divert more to the meme culture of investing. So, yeah, I mean, that's how I see crypto, and that's how I see NFTs. I think NFTs kind of represent, what crypto was in 2017, where there is a lot of curiosity, but people are not sure where it's going. That's why you'll see like 95% of projects fail. But I think this 5%, new projects and existing projects that will last decades and will literally change the perspective of community, the perspective of, getting paid for your art, getting paid to invest in a community. So as I see everyone who minted our project for 0.069 ETH back in October, they're up almost 300% now for believing in the community, for believing in the founders, believing in our roadmap specifically. So that's how I see, what NFTs are about. It's investing in creators that you like and artists that you like, communities that you enjoy, and believing the team. I mean, I think the team is very important. Communities are probably just as important as the team, but a strong community with no team, there's no project at all. A strong team with no community, there may be a project, but it may take you like over a year to establish it, because building a community is probably one of the most difficult things ever. And I'm proud to say that when we minted out 10,000 bulls, we paid $0 for marketing. We just did it strictly with our 600,000 following that we have across all social media. And I'm proud to say our project is pretty healthy. I did pin what's coming next, and it's coming really soon. So anyone that holds 3 bulls gets a piece of our intern collection. So it's a free mint. You just got to pay for gas. And the interns, Cam, whoever knows Cam, is the co-founder and the artist of the Wall Street Bulls. He's a phenomenal artist. He's been in the art game for like 20 years now. He did cover art for famous bands. That even launched an NFT with a famous band. And he really worked on these interns. Like he put his blood, sweat, and tears into them. And I mean, when people ask like, "What's the utility for the intern?" I tell them the utility is having a piece of really rare and exclusive art made by an amazing artist. And I mean, if you just like look at the detail and all the elements of these interns, and it kind of pokes fun at actually literally interns that work on Wall Street, but also kind of pokes fun at the Gen Z culture. So I'm sure some people might be a little triggered by some of the elements, but I think it just speaks to the humor and the art. So try to look at it as with an open mind as much as possible. But yeah, I'm excited for this. This is happening this month. We're gonna have a snapshot. So anyone in our Discord already knows how it works. But if anyone is curious, just hop in our Discord. You link your Discord and your wallet on our website, completely safe. And we're gonna have a random snapshot coming. I'll give a little sneak peek. It's coming next week. So at some point next week, people will know if they qualify for interns. We will know how many interns they qualify for. And I'm excited for this to be like the first big execution of the roadmap. We're gonna have a lot more exciting stuff after this, but I'm excited to give a free collection to the people that are holding and believing in the project. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much my little shill of the project, my outlook on NFTs. I think 2022 is going to be huge for NFTs, but it's also going to expose anyone that did money grabs, in the previous year. Previous year, you could have kind of just like botted out your Discord, paid someone on Fiverr for shitty art, and potentially sold out a collection if you just dumped like 50 grand into your advertising and like really did some fake pumping. I don't think that's going to be really possible this year because education is going to be huge. People are going to know they're investing in serious projects a lot more than last year. So I'm excited to see, the investors being more protected and the community and the space just having a better name to itself. Because no one is going to be happy getting rugged on a project, and they're probably like if they're new to the space, they're not going to come back. So I'm excited to see this community being more protected this year, and we're going to be part of that. We're going to do a lot of education in our Discord and our communities, especially for the Wall Street bets culture, where people they just ape into things blindly a lot of times, and I'm happy to help push the space forward with education, and hopefully we all go to the moon together.
Love the mission. Really excited to see this. And I agree with you. There was a lot of that in 2021 where it was, hey, you threw some marketing behind this. You had an idea, you put it out there, and you could just kind of do that money grab. But then a lot of those projects disappeared. And I think it's a lot of strength now for the projects that are coming from 2021 into 2022, maintaining the community. I mean, I'm in the Bulls Discord right now. There's like a post, there's more than a post every single minute, which is always interesting to see. There's always really a ton of people online. Like I could see 370 holders online, and just like a lot going on there. Is there anything that you want to accomplish as a community in going into like this next year? Is there anything that you're rallying behind? Any mission? Any objectives? I would say that like really would make the difference to you. Like, hey, if we can accomplish this, like we did something astronomical.
Yeah, so I mean, when one of the first ambassadors I had for this project is a good friend of ours, Gav, and the blonde broker, and I'm sure a lot of other people in here. It's the Einstein of Wall Street, Peter Tuchman. So when I got him on board before the mint, that's probably the only hype that I created before the mint. I was like, I got to get someone from Wall Street because this is the Wall Street Bulls collection. So I got to get someone from Wall Street to represent this. And the Einstein of Wall Street was all about it. But that's what I told him. I'm like, I when you run a page like mine, you get at least. I mean, this is a weird flex, but you get at least like 200 to 300 DMs a day, and a lot of these DMs are people showing their blown up accounts, and it's funny in the beginning, but then eventually when you see people losing like their life savings, it's not as fun anymore. And I saw this opportunity to build a community and build education. So just making people more savvy in terms of how they're investing and I'll tease out a little utility that we're actually going to include for the bulls and the interns as a collaborative utility. We're going to have alpha channels, so NFT alpha exclusively for holders. We're going to have actually a professional financial advisor with a CFA going in our Discord Monday through Friday for like an hour before the market opens to kind of just give his insight, how he feels the market is heading, where he sees things going, just giving a little, mentorship to people that are trying to invest but are trying to like or trade or invest and be savvy and smart about it, because you can have like your portfolio where you YOLO option, but it's good to also have smart investments. So we're going to have also alpha just for the stock market, and we're building out like other funding and investment opportunities that are exclusively for bull holders. So I see this community just kind of becoming, Wall Street Bets is known for people aping and blowing up accounts a lot of times. I mean, when you look at GameStop and AMC, maybe not always, sometimes we crush it as well, but I see this community kind of like embracing the retail trader and giving the retail trader a better name. So not necessarily the whole thing where it's like retail versus Wall Street, but it's like how can retail just be the new Wall Street? How can we have so much power in the game that the market is no longer rigged? We're smart. We know what we're doing. We have a lot more power behind us, and I see the Wall Street Bulls project really accomplishing that goal, and I'm excited for what 2022 has to bring, especially seeing the market this week. I can just imagine how many people got blown up. I mean, my options account is completely destroyed this week, so I can relate to anyone that got blown up. But yeah, I'm happy to know that we have the opportunity to bring some smart people on board. Already, so much of our community is brilliant. We have business people, we have people working on Wall Street, we have entrepreneurs. We have multi-millionaires in the group that are just like brilliant. So there's going to be a lot of networking going on, a lot of mentorship, and I'm really excited to see how it all comes together.
Love it. Thank you so much. I mean, appreciate you, coming in, sharing about this, a project that obviously a lot of us are personally invested in. So excited to see it, continue to go. I just dropped a message into the Bulls Discord, just thanking all the Bulls that are here with us. So we'd love to see what's going on, and excited to keep building that community. And thanks for all the amazing content, that you do, put out on a daily basis. It keeps us laughing. It keeps us enjoying. You can't take life too seriously, to be honest, if you want to be having a good time. So I think it's kind of the right amount. And the fact that you're bringing in professionals that are going to help people to actually, understand investing in a better way as you're kind of guiding through, because I think, you kind of ride with this. Life's all about risk reward, right? And you're kind of riding the higher edge of that, but there's risk, but there's plenty of reward. And, for people that are okay with that, they kind of need a home to be, with similar people. I think we're attracted to stuff like that. So love it all around. Anything else you want to add before we keep it going?
No, I mean, yeah, sorry that I'm probably going to have to hop off like at 8 p.m. I actually have a call with my other three partners for the Wall Street Bulls. We're finishing up intern execution and even talking about the options market. That's the next step of the roadmap for anyone that didn't hear about the project. We're going to have a virtual options market uh, in the NFT space for the Wall Street Bulls. So you'll be able to like mint an option basically, and we have a code that changes the art of your bull in real time. So we're gonna have like two levels of options where some are safer. Level 2 is gonna be more risky, so you can like literally blow up your bull, or your bull can become like a 1 out of 1, almost like very rare bull if the option goes your way. So yeah, that's a lot of work, but we're working on that behind the scenes, and I'm excited to just make a degenerate NFT project that people actually benefit from in the long run. That's all I have. You're welcome to bring another bull to speak on my behalf later
I got
throughout
Meta
the
Dutch.
spaces. Oh, Meta Dutch, awesome, love it. Yeah,
Plug.
and yeah, I'm going to be listening in as well. So, looking forward to the conversation. Thank you for having
Yo,
me.
memes, you leave me here. You go get the rocket to the moon for me, bro. That's all. Go put the gas in, get it going. We'll take it from here.
Appreciate you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, for having me.
Yes, sir. My pleasure. And, really exciting for everybody that's been following the spaces for the last month. You know that I've been having a series of technical issues on spaces. Haven't been able to really speak for more than just a couple minutes. Haven't been able to host. Finally, bit the bullet, got the iPhone. Now we're back in style. Hundreds of people on spaces. I'm able to be in the driver's seat. I fucking love it. Okay, let's keep it rolling. We got some new blood in here on the Wolf spaces. Haven't really spoken on a Wolf space mixed role, but Ashley, who I'm staying with, shout out to Ashley and her husband, amazing hosts. Shout out to Ashley. She turned me on to Nick, and she's talking a big game about him. So Nick, I'd love to hear from you some of what you've been working on in the NFT space, and yeah, just share your project and then any opportunities that you see in 2022.
Hey, what's up? Thanks for having me on here. It's I've seen no space for a while. I've popped in a couple of times, but it's definitely a cool space. I'm excited. What I've been working on is some hot cocoa. Got some hot cocoa with me right now. But in the metaverse and NFTs, I created a project called Rancher Rednecks. Basically, the main focus was to combat racism, to basically change the bad meaning of rednecks to a good meaning, to celebrate each other's differences. And there were definitely some mistakes on that project, but you live and you learn at the end of the day, and you give people their investment worthy. So what I'm working on right now is a new project with some pretty cool people, and giving everyone a free mint to that one, that has more utility, just more of a community basis, and just a lot more. Because at the end of the day, when you make mistakes, you don't run, you just keep staying, and you figure out what went wrong. And yeah, that's what I've been working on. And again, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, what are some of the opportunities that you see in this coming year in the NFT spaces? What do you think things are going to gravitate towards, perhaps on your own side or other projects that you're excited for?
So the NFT space is just like so cool because of the amount of people that are coming in here, which I think can definitely make a difference. What I see sometime this year is it getting so big, to a point where two things can happen, right? It can get polluted by companies, right? Basically only companies can sell out projects. It could be like a lot of the other part of the world, music, where only the big guys actually get seen. But to be honest, I don't know if that will happen. And the reason I say that is just because of what the NFT community has become. It became a WAGME, GM, just all-inclusive type of community, which I think brings something that a lot of communities don't have. And I think, what I see in the future is it just getting bigger and better, more education, more of the age range, whether it be from kids or just adults who have kids. At the end of the day, right now that age group is kind of broad, but not broad enough. I think it will be bigger. I think it will get bigger, and more of the regular people in our world will actually start be coming into the NFT space.
Perfect. Yeah, I'd be excited to see it. I've seen all ages in this space. It's exciting to see, like, there's even grandparents that have their collections, and then people really around your age. I've seen multiple, and what I have noticed is really cool is some of the youngest people in space have really targeted some really cool charitable causes and really trying to make a much bigger impact on the world than I think a majority of people have ever had an opportunity to make at that age. So I like using this as a tool, right? Everything on the internet really at the end of the day feels like a tool to be able to affect other people slash the world in a different way. And it's all about how you choose to use it. And a lot of people did not necessarily use NFTs in the right way with their projects, but it's great to see that we're moving towards that direction. Okay, let's keep it rolling. Big thank you to my co-host up here, Luke. We met the other week on Zoom. We chatted for an hour. We've been going down the rabbit hole. You're, the OG of NFTs and everything going on here. So, Luke, I'd love to hear from you on your lessons from 2021 and what you see going into 2022.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me, Gav. I appreciate it. And what a great panel we have up here. These guys rock. All you guys rock up here. So mad respect. First, in 2021, I think we all saw that people in NFTs can actually make life-changing money. Like, people have actually made life-changing money this past year, to the point where they're buying houses and cars and paying off student loan debt, things like that. But we also, I think what the retail investor in the NFT space also found out is that community plays such a big part in any company being built. Because all these NFT projects are literally just building companies that we all back. Now we're all shareholders, and with those tokens we own, we have a vote in that project. We are basically putting finances behind a project and saying, hey, we're financially vested in this project's success, and we will do whatever it takes to make this project successful as a group of investors. And on top of that, I think social media companies are realizing that these 10K projects are more powerful than their influencers are. The reason why I say that is you take a 10K project and there's like, let's just say there's 5,200 token holders. There are more powerful if you actually can mobilize them as the founder of the project to go take part in whatever actions they want to do, whether it be, hey, everybody, let's go help this other community get built, or let's go help this other product or software actually get more users to it. All those folks can then benefit from that token increasing and by creating more business development partnerships as well. Uh, Kind of like, for example, if a project decides to say, "Hey, I want to go work with Emirates Airlines," if they have a deal with Emirates Airlines, you can actually show your token, prove that you actually have one, and all of a sudden you can get like a upgrade to your airline, your pass. Like this is happening already in 2021. Not that example exactly, but it's definitely happening. So I think the community, I think actually life changing money is huge, and I actually think that a lot of folks in this spot in this space, especially NFTs, like we also found like kind of like really good friends. Like I've made a ton of really, really, really good friends in this space, and the community is like ridiculously strong. So because of that, I think we're going to be really successful in 2022. And when companies are dumping money, like let's just say we call them Fortune 1000 companies and VC firms are dumping money into the NFT space, I don't see that as bad, actually. I actually see that as good. That means the NFT space has a huge and bright future. I want them to come in and I want us to act as stewards to bring them into the NFT space, to bring them into the Web3 space and bring them in the right way rather than just like aping into the space and trying to do it themselves. We should be the ones like shepherding them in the right way so that the community doesn't like see it as off-putting or like incorrect. And it's just you know what I mean? Like come in slowly, learn the vernacular of the space, and you know what? We'll help you on board the right way. And I think 2022 we're going to see a lot of that. We're going to see a lot of these companies coming in now. All it takes is a few, and a few have already come in. Very, very large companies. Now the play to earn is coming up too. I mean, 2022 is going to see is literally the first 2 quarters is play to earn, if not the entire year of 2022 is a play to earn games, where you're going to be in like Gala and like literally just earning like a $500,000 a year doing in game, basically performing in game tasks. And in the metaverse, there's going to be full time jobs. People are going to be literally working full time jobs in the metaverse, making more money in like third world countries than they would make at a local store or service provider in their area. So we're literally changing lives. The metaverse is absolutely, and NFTs are absolutely changing lives around the world especially in the United States, which is where, you know, the NFT, most of the NFT space really lives is between basically North America, Canada, and the United States is most of the NFT space. So I see a very bright future for NFTs. I see a very bright future for play to earn games, and I see like way more projects coming in the space, and way more Fortune 1000 companies entering the space the right way this time as well. So that's how I feel about it, Gav.
Love it. And I'm on the same page with you. I really think that the big money coming in, while I understand people's want to, break away from it and build their own thing, like it accelerates things so much quicker and does come with plenty of positives along with, the admitted, negatives that are going to be there for some people. Um,
Yeah,
I wanted
massive
to,
liquidity.
yeah,
Think of massive liquidity, right? Now, when Coinbase launches, we're going to have this massive liquidity dump into the market where everybody's going to be wanting to get into the NFT game, and now they're going to have access to it that have Coinbase. It just makes it that much easier for these folks to be onboarded through, they can actually use cash rather than crypto. So it's not, again, I know a person that actually onboarded 20 people in one night because the project they were getting them into was on Nifty Gateway that took credit card. Now, if that's the way we need to onboard them into the NFT space, I'm all for it. And then they can learn about crypto along the way, because I think NFTs is a great entry point to learn how crypto and NFTs and everything and all the entire process works. So,
yep, very well said, Luke. Awesome, thank you. We're going to come back and dive more into this with specific projects and questions. Want to get everybody involved off the bat. I am going to go through all of our planned speakers, and then anybody else that came up afterwards, we can tap into you. We're definitely focusing on the main speakers for tonight. Okay, Ghost DeFi. Been a bit since we did a space. Would love to hear if there's been any updates, on your project that we haven't really talked about since, and what you think is going to change from the past year into the current.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Let me just kind of give big props to everyone that's up here. Gav, thank you for hosting this. Ashley, good to see you, my sister. Can't wait till I kind of see you at an IRL event. And I think I've seen Christine Barnum and Don Broke around, and good to see you again, Nick. First of all, I want to say, Lucas Bean, you killed it, my man. I think what he touched in as far as in-game jobs, because of play to earn, he went and touched in on 10K collections, more powerful than influencers right now. 100%. That's something I'm preaching all the time. He's talking about Web3, welcoming the big guys. I'm 100% all for that. And the reason why I'm all for that is because what we had last year was what I like to call the gold rush moment, right? We just had anybody and everybody just kind of launching. Yes, there is the fear and the risk of these big corporations coming in and doing their own thing. But like Lucas Bird said, if we are the ones that bring them in, which in most cases has been happening, look at Adidas drop. Look at when these big people are entering. They're entering through someone, whether it's Farrakh ETH, whether it's someone in the NFT community. So he's 100% correct. As far as who we are in the space, we're building, our names are our brands. You fast forward 2, 3, 4 years, Gav, when it comes to spaces, is going to be like almost impossible. You probably have to book 6, 5, 7 months ahead. And everything we're all building right now is just going to be, escalated. Kind of your question to kind of go in. What I'm most, excited about this year is the mass adoption. I think when we have a mass adoption of any asset, right, you get first the hate and the love, right? And to see the adoption that's coming through while we're still getting in that hate phase is just, really mind blowing to see. I'm a statistics guy, right? And just to touch on what Lucas Brown said, just in Coinbase wallets alone, we have almost 2 to 3 million signed up, ready to come in. And just on OpenSea live wallets, we have 300,000. So we're talking about nearly 10 times the amount just waiting to be unlocked to come in. You're 100% right. Coinbase, Crypto.com, Nifty Gateway. These are the people that are definitely going to excel that growth and help bring in, like he said, mass liquidity. NFTs, where is it going? What do I see? I see, real builders coming into the space. And I'm going to kind of touch on my space, my project, and kind of what we plan to do as far as board dealers. But, I see, a lot of real builders and real projects starting to come. I think, I'm a builder on the utility side, so I can only speak on that. But I really see, a lot of real life utility coming to this space, connecting this Web 2 to this Web 3 world. I see entrepreneurs, I see pioneers, I see anybody that, sees the gap between, IRL life and, in the Web3 kind of comes through and starts to build in that. When we talk about community, they're 100% correct. This community, and, we've gone through generations and generations of owning nothing. Not our social media platforms, not our content, nothing. They can shut down our Twitter space right now if they wanted to. So, I see, this whole next year being, being, we want to own everything, right? We want to own our own NFTs. We want to own our own content. Like, we've started to come back to this thing where we want to own who and what we are. And that will kind of, swing me around to, who I am and how I got into space. I've been in crypto and DeFi for a while. Got into NFT space over a year ago, and I've just kind of been sitting on the side, just kind of watching everybody else build. For me, I needed to kind of see where I fit. If my background is, I'm in the marijuana industry. A lot of people know the people that are related and connected to us as far as runts. If you're a smoker, the strains and things like that. So for me, I've always had this love to kind of bring the marijuana industry and crypto industry together. So I spent the whole last year just building. So just a kind of little run around for the people that don't know, Bold Dealers aims to bridge the gap between the marijuana and the NFT crypto industry. We're the first people that are literally going to launch. I've already secured 5 acres in Sacramento, California, so we can enter the actual industry. We'll be the first NFT collection to pheno hunt and launch our own strain into the actual industry. Why we're doing this is because we understand that, just like what we're talking about, this building is happening today. So for me, when, and an entrepreneur, I'm looking at a huge gap right now. I'm seeing a huge educational gap between the marijuana industry and ours. I'm speaking to, people that own dispensaries all over, the States and around the world. And they're not looking at Web3 as much as what we are. And, a lot of people are like, oh, let's wait for them. But I also know when we waited for them to come into recreational, they did squash out all the small farms, all the real mom pop grows, and all those type of things too. So for me, I seen this as a chance for us as a community to come through and really go after the marijuana industry together. What this will mean is I've already signed, seal, deliver. Just for holding a board dealer, you will get 20% off as long as you're in a legal state in the United States for buying from all the dispensaries that are partnered with us. We've partnered with, this is the updates, Gab, from when I spoke to you last. We've partnered with a lot of dispensaries out in Denver, Colorado. Why we partner with a lot of them is because they do delivery also. So they can cross other states. So now you're talking about just for holding a board dealer, you're getting real life utility as far as discounts as dispensaries, brands, and things like that. On top of that, we are opening our own farm. And the reason why we're entering the actual industry is this means that if we open for example, in California, and you're in California and you come to us, you won't need to give us money to come to and get from our marijuana farm, because at the end of the day, you've already invested. This is your farm. So what we're creating is a business on both sides off the one launch of the NFT side. We've brought on Money Man and another celebrity ambassador who's going to tweet out later on today and announce his partnerships to make sure we secure those mainstream medias. We're also going into in real life events. We've already had 4 events. Well, the last one we did was at Miami Art Basel, and we haven't even launched yet. We're also going to merch. Our merch is ready now. We haven't launched yet. So I spent the whole year last year building, making sure I had all my things, before I came to this time we were building the community and going to sell. So I'm really excited for what we plan to bring. As far as merch, a lot of people talk about merch, and one thing I would just love to say is we've got to understand, what BayYC has taught us, right, is the need for lifestyle brands. And, I spent the whole last year kind of looking at this merch wave and partnering with, manufacturers and things like that. And I just seen this gap where there's a whole generation, just like what Lucas Brown said, of millionaires and billionaires that are being made. Me, myself, I came up very heavy in the DeFi, right? And we don't have our own brands. We don't have our own culture. We don't have, so half the people do not care about what the next celebrity does, because like what Lucas Bean says, they already have more than them. So that whole thing of celebrities having it over us has gone. If anything, the celebrities are coming to us now and asking for our help, asking for us to send them NFTs. So for us, I want to create a lifestyle brand that represents us, so that we have something to wear. People see, some people buying 10, 20 BayYC jumpers. The reason why they do that is because it's the only thing that has value that's attached to our space. So for me, it's like there's no luxury brands here, so we're going directly after the streetwear line. We're going to make a complete streetwear line. We partner with real kind of people that just do merchandise, and that's another thing. We've brought on a huge team of you guys would probably know Crypto Mom and her whole team. They worked on Boss Beauties and Women and Weapons. I brought on their team, which is about 6 people. I have about 7 people on my team. I have my 2 celebrity ambassadors, and we brought on a marketing firm of about 7 people. I'm dead as serious this bridge and kind of having this place for us. I know the time will come when, like he said, these big corporations will come over, Cookies will come over, Canopy, this time will come. But when that time comes, naturally, who would they speak to but the only person that's done it before? Now, we don't need money, we don't need anything. All we want is benefits. All we want is utility for our holders. So for us, we just believe as we build, the amount of utility and real life utility. This is all real life stuff that you can go and pay for. These dispensaries, they take cash, Cash App, they take Venmo. Some of them will even take ETH. So we're already starting to forward that Web3 movement. So just to kind of, I don't want to take up too much time, but we're the ones to kind of help them go Web3. And before I kind of dial off, I'll also say we're partnered with Last Cannabis Prisoner Project, which focuses on getting cannabis prisoners out of jail. We've got 40,000 people in jail for growing cannabis in states that are all legal today. So we've reached out to this charity, Last Cannabis Project, to work with their lawyers to start to pay the Supreme Court to get them out and work that as our charity aspect, because that's something we really, really believe in. But yeah, feel free to ask any questions, and I'll just leave it right there, Gav.
Yeah, love it, man. I think that was a great, initial overview. I see the account continues to grow for the board dealers up to over 22,000 followers. It's a really interesting mission, right? Your goal to interlace cannabis and crypto and so many different areas and to bring it into NFTs. Do you, one more time, do you have the launch date planned for this year for when you're going to do that, or are you still building the community?
Yeah, we just 21st of January. public mint day. 20th will be yeah, tune in again. I'll be in another live space this Friday with our celebrity ambassadors. But yeah, we're going to be a huge marketing campaign ready to push starting from today. So yeah, this 2 weeks about to get real exciting.
Love it, man. Yeah, very excited for that. Really appreciate, you coming into these spaces and hitting me up. Excited to do something with you and, Money Man and the other ones. We'll definitely keep some spaces going. Okay. So I want to roll around. So definitely we're
We'll
hitting on
definitely
our planned
organize
speakers
that one day.
first.
For sure.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, no, I was just saying we'll
Okay.
definitely organize that one.
Yeah, sorry. My service breaks in and out, but I got it. I know we were talking over each other there a little bit. Okay, so we're going to continue with the planned speakers, but real quick, just a minute or two. I saw you came up, Mike. I know you're on a busy schedule. So just kind of a quick break here. Mike wanted to throw it over to you, and then we'll keep it going.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. Everybody's back in the rabbit hole in the new year. We've learned a lot in 2021. I have, not from a crazy buying standpoint like I did in 2015 and 16 with crypto and mining, because that taught me a lesson for this year. I kind of went in heavy and then kind of stayed back and watched a lot of the collections. It seems there's two standpoints: the creator and his collection and what he's doing, and then the buyer, like myself as a collector and a buyer. The creator, he's the guy in the back in the kitchen making his great recipe and his amazing meal, but he can't be the waiter, he can't be the busboy, and he can't be the host, and he can't be the guy making the business deals. So he's got to surround himself with a team in that direction on obviously preparing his roadmap for what he wants to do with the collection, but his roadmap on the business end behind. And you have to have like a business partner. I've seen a lot of collections work because strong hands, investment dollars have come in on the collection, minted it out, and when there's ever some cheap things on the floor, the liquidity's there to pick it up. So if I would start a collection now, I would make a pitch deck and a business plan, state some of the things in the community that happened, find some friends and family that believed in me and my project and saw my vision. And it doesn't take you don't need a big collection for your first one. So if you've got some liquidity in the bank and there's, let's say, 1,000 in the collection, and you own yourself 500, why wouldn't you want to own 500 of your own baseball cards if there was 1,000 baseball cards of you made and you're a professional baseball player? So that would lower the supply of the collection, and you just do what you're doing with the demand coming in, and then the floor would predicate itself due to supply and demand, and you would have enough money in the bank to support and do your marketing and whatever you wanted to do with your NFT beforehand rather than afterhand and learning on your NFT experience. And that's what I've been seeing happening. So if you're going into this year, I would create a great business plan and a model and a team for yourself, and you'll have a much greater chance of success than just building a community of people on Twitter. A lot of my guys are not selling their NFTs from their old community of Web 2.0. They're building it from this new community of people they're meeting on a daily basis. So if you're banking on your following and your community from the past, buying your NFT, I've seen a lot of people go that route and not be successful. So that's what I wanted to share this evening, and good luck with everybody in 2022.
Thank you so much, Mike. Yeah, good points there. For sure, I think it's super important for founders to be invested in their own projects, right? Like if I think a majority of founders do try to keep at least some for themselves because they believe in the value of it, and they should be, I think, a significant holder within them. But I'm sure that ranges from one to the next, and just good points all around. Okay, let's keep it rolling. Ashley, thank you so much for being on here. Second space in the day that you're doing with me. Appreciate you. You have a lot going on in the NFT world, and I know this because I've had the front row seat. I got to watch you doing the designs. You're working on multiple projects at the moment. You've got a ton going on. Walk us through, a day in life of Ashley right now and the projects that you're working on.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's been a crazy day. I have my initial project that I came out with back in August called Crypto Titties. It was a more fun, silly project. We donated 25% of our sales and royalties to the American Cancer Society for breast cancer awareness. Now I am working on my new project called She Survives. It basically was inspired by, I had a woman that was a really close friend with my family. She was kind of like a great aunt to me, and she passed away after having cancer 6 times, it coming back and forth. And she couldn't keep hair on her head. And, a lot of women that have breast cancer, they lose their hair and their eyelashes and eyebrows, and it can make them feel, not as beautiful. And so this project is to make people that went through that feel beautiful. We're donating 25% of all sales and royalties to, the same charity, the American Cancer Society. My main mission in NFTs and the NFT space, one, of course, if you follow me, you know that I love to be silly. I feel like the NFT community is silly and fun and doesn't take itself too seriously versus things like crypto and stocks. But I 100% believe that NFTs are going to be starting to be for a cause. A lot of NFTs are donating to charities. They're raising awareness for certain things, like Erin's particular brand too. She does mental health awareness for her unique unicorns. And there's so many other great projects that have, that charity aspect. So I honestly believe that NFTs will truly change the way that people donate to charities because, why just buy a regular NFT when you can buy an NFT that will not only, have utility and things going on for it that most NFTs do, but also gives back to, things like Women in Weapons does the Malala Fund. They've donated over 6 figures to that fund. And that's so inspiring. Just imagine the lives that we can all change if all NFTs had some similar kind of causes. So that's 100% my mission. Basically, my project is supposed to release in the next month or two. We're kind of trying to figure out the best time for an announcement because we have a very small team of mostly women. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit about me and my mission. And I just love what's going on in the space. I just feel like it's only up from here.
Love it. Very powerful mission. You mentioned with this project specifically that obviously there's the cause in addition to the utility. What's the utility on the project?
I actually plan on doing like events, like charity events, as well as access to certain events by now I can't guarantee anything because a lot of this is kind of hush hush, but there's going to be events with some potentially celebrity guests. I'm working on a potential like DAO type community for like charity allotment. So eventually, whenever we do the royalties, an additional part of the royalties may go to other charities. Maybe the charities will change, once a month or something like that. It really kind of depends on where the community wants it to go. We plan on giving, a lot of different things away, like grants to women. Every month I want to do, like a grant to a woman that has breast cancer and can't pay for treatment or education or whatever it may be. And also do things like fun giveaways for our holders, like Tesla giveaways, giveaways for other grants for, not just women, but maybe up and coming artists. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit of what I have planned for this project.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm glad that I was able to see some of the artwork. And you're also potentially doing a raffle of something once you sell out?
Yes, that's a Tesla giveaway. So for holders of the She Survives project, you'll be eligible for a giveaway for each NFT that you hold. You get 1 entry, and then if you hold partner NFTs, such as with Grumpkins and the Crypto Titties, you get additional entries for having those projects. So it's basically, I don't plan on that being the only raffle, but that's going to be the biggest one after sellout.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you, Ashley. Great overall starters there. You can go and check out, what's the app for the account?
It's at She Survives NFT.
I pinned
Perfect.
it. I pinned it up at the top, you guys. There's like 2 tweets.
Thank you, Erin.
Thank you.
Welcome. Welcome.
Okay. Well, Erin, since you're coming in hot there, we might as well throw it over to you. We've been doing unique unicorn spaces for a few weeks now. Shout out Erin. She's a very unique unicorn, and it's great to have you on the space again. So would love to hear, how things have been going with the project, with life, what's going on.
Thanks, guys. Love y'all. Gav, Ashley, y'all know I'm feeling pretty sick right now. So trying to work on the project and make sure everything's in gear for our launch date. Hopefully I don't have COVID. So if you guys hear me cough and swallow weird, I apologize. I'm trying to drink a lot of water. I jinxed myself. I said, I'm so surprised I have not gotten COVID yet. And literally the next fucking day, I started feeling like ass. So that's just what I get. So hopefully that's not it, because I'm supposed to be hanging out with y'all this weekend. Anyways, love the space. Obviously, I love Wolf Financial. You guys have given everybody a platform for all these great speakers to come up and talk about what truly matters to them and how they want to change the world with NFTs. And y'all aren't only talking about NFTs, but stocks. And, y'all host 30 spaces a week, and it's just incredible. And I admire what you guys have done for this community and everybody on Twitter. But I guess from what we've seen, we're looking at NFTs and crypto being the building blocks for the emerging metaverse. And we've seen brands like Facebook, Nike, Adidas, Microsoft continuing their metaverse experiments. And I'm hoping that, the Unique Unicorns experiment into the metaverse is going to be just as successful and fun as well. So my project is the Unique Unicorns. It is a mental health community, and we are fighting the mental illness stigma. As somebody who suffers with mental illness myself, I just want to give a platform for people to come out and speak to about what they struggle with, and let them know that they're not alone and it's not something to be ashamed of. These are, beautiful and dangerous gifts that we have. They're not illnesses. And I'm here to, help build this community. Everybody that struggles or is interested can join our Discord on the Unique Unicorns page. I've pinned it up at the top. The link is in my bio as well. But yeah, we're just a really loving community. We'd love for everybody in the space to come join us, retweet some of these awesome tweets that we've pinned up at the top. But we're 10,000 rare unicorns. We're donating our proceeds to a couple of different organizations. One to a mental health org that helped me get through college. I went to Texas A&M and ran track, and kind of being a full-time athlete and student, I struggled a lot with being a perfectionist, and it messed with my head. So everything nowadays I focus on being perfect. Huge gamer. So we are going to be gaming in the metaverse, and there is one person in particular that is my unique unicorn. He is not in the space right now, but he is a guy that I met through gaming. He's 19 years old. He is the entire reason that I wanted to start this project. He has tried to take his life and leave this earth, and he's very okay with me sharing this, because I think a lot of people have struggled with talking about it. And he wants to know that he's here because he had someone to reach out to. He had a connection. He had someone else that was struggling with similar characteristics that he had and thoughts, and had this handout that I gave him. And that kid can call me whenever he wants. My phone will always be on, and I'm here to show him that he is loved and that he is valued. And that's for all of the unique unicorn holders, and honestly anybody in the space, any friend that I have, they know that they can DM me directly and talk about what's going on. You know, I don't care if I'm busy, I'll put whatever I'm doing down for you. But we're here to fight that mental health stigma and provide support, educate the public, and advocate for policies that support people with mental illnesses and their families. And you know, we just want everyone to know that they have a space to go to. And in our Discord, we're offering a free therapy session each week, meeting with the therapist on Friday to talk about a start date for next week. So we see that with COVID going on and affecting everyone's lives, it's been hard to get out and do like our normal everyday routines, which could include finding a therapist in person. So that way you don't have to do that. And you also, if you're struggling with funds and insurance might not cover it, this is free. I don't really give a shit if you have a unicorn or not, but if you want therapy and you want to come talk to somebody that, you know, you need support, you need to get things off your chest, come in the Discord and we're all there for you. And it's a very loving community and space. And, you know, I love the family that we've built so far. So we will be minting on January 28th. We have a lot of partnerships coming up. I just happened to be at an NFL game in a certain suite with somebody doing a partnership with an NFL player who loves the project and will be supporting the project. And that is not something that I have tweeted yet or posted about, but we have some really badass people on board who love this mission and what we're doing. And I'm just really excited for it. And I want to change the world. And you know, if I can help one person decide to stay on this earth, then I know that I've accomplished my mission with this project. I'll say that over and over and over again. I love you guys, and the unique unicorns are here for everybody. So,
Do you guys mind if I jump in and say something? Sorry, I didn't put my hand up, but that
no,
really
please.
connected with me. Sorry.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, this pixelated turtle above you is somebody who has been through his own black hole of mental health, and I am very much a mental health advocate through and through, and I will work for free for anybody if it means getting a mental health related story out there, because at the end of the fucking day, all we have is our health. So I want you to connect with me and DM me, and what I'm going to help you do is really refine down your pitch so that I can put you in front of media and get your story told out there. That is something I want to do for you. I'm not asking for money. I'm not going to give you my email address and say, send me what you want. This is me doing it for you because you hit an emotional button with me with mental health stuff. I want to learn more about your project to make sure what I'm helping you out with is real and not a shill. But just DM me, we'll connect on there. And if this is something that is real and something that you are passionate about and there's the real utility all there, I want to help you get some real eyes on it.
Oh, it's real. Let's go.
Okay, if you guys are saying it's real, then I was just listening to it. You know what I mean? I'm all your rambling and turning into something that you
Yeah.
can that can help sell it. And don't worry, we'll get there.
No, we love that. Most of these guys up here are actually in the community as well. Our brotherhood is the Wall Street Bulls. Peter is on the board of directors. Gav is a unique unicorn. Ashley, Christine. So we're all in this organization and community, and we love it.
And
We're
good for
excited.
you. Good for you. Congratulations. Good for you.
No, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you for speaking to today, but I would love to get in touch with you because that's what we're really big right now with is organic growth. So I don't shill the project. I don't really I'm just trying to help people, and that is just providing the safe space in the NFT world, and that is through the Discord channel. So
You gotta get in front of Will Arnett for his BoJack Horseman. The cartoons, it really reminds me. I'm looking at it right now. It reminds me a lot of BoJack Horseman, and
Ooh.
I think that there could be some crossover there. So that's a different conversation entirely. And again, I'm really not trying to confuse the narrative here. I'll let you guys get back to your thing, but please connect with me offline, and I'm gonna help you open some doors.
Thank you, Corey. Wow. Wow, 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 wow.
Well, this is definitely the exact reason that I do these spaces. Is
Yeah.
literally so people can discover, and help each other. And what I can say is, first off, I've been in the room and seen her designing unique unicorns. I also know that on New Year's Eve we were out at like 2 a.m. and we were supposed to be like partying, having fun. And Erin's like, I can't stop thinking about the unique unicorns right now. She's like, I should be at the computer on Photoshop, like at like 2 a.m. drunk on New Year's. Like that was where her mind was. So I definitely know she's all over it and very passionate. And all right, I hear them like muting. Peter, let her rip.
What's up, guys? Thanks for inviting me on. Gory, it was really good to hear you. I'd love to meet you also. Um, if you need any kind of validation or endorsement about any human being in this panel, and they're all really great, it's that Erin is really committed, is spectacular, is the real deal. She's a beautiful person inside and out. And this is a young lady who, guys, a lot of people talk the talk. They don't really walk the walk. This young lady has gone out, taught herself coding, built this collection herself, literally 24/7, staying awake. It's a mission, it's a message, it's a platform, it's a cause that is, I'm on board, and I'm really discriminating on what projects I will endorse or people I will get behind or causes that I feel are really significant. Mental illness is surely one of them. I've opened my doors 100% to Erin, to this project. I am on the board. I am a unicorn. I have my own unicorn, and I've connected Erin to major players in the mental illness space, yet to be announced, that are really going to connect us with organizations that are the real deal. People who have been around doing this for a long time. So, you know what, guys,
Wonderful.
we are, I'd love to connect with you. We are, look, there are a lot of NFT projects out there. 90% of them won't be around in a year. But the ones that I'm really behind are the ones that have a cause, have a real major team and protocol behind them. And, I met Erin in person. We connected. She came down to she flew in from Houston to meet me, and we met, and we've been connected ever since. And we're working on this project together. I am on the board. So, look, thank you to Gav. Thank you. I see Ashley. I see a number of other characters. The Wall Street Bulls are here. Those guys also. I'm a people person. I'm all about the human element. I am all about people who really have a good mission and a message, and I've got my bullshit meter up, and I've got it on both of my shoulders, and I will, I'm not going to call anybody out on it. I just kind of, I notice something I don't like and I move on. I'm not about burning bridges. I'm not about taking other people down. I'm all about putting my heavy weight and my brand and my notoriety and my fame behind good people, good projects. Wolf and Gavin, the team. Erin is one of them. I know Ashley and obviously the Wall Street Bulls. So I'm thrilled to be here and honored to be on the panel.
Always a pleasure having you on, Peter. Peter is really the real deal. You go, I visited Peter multiple times now in person. He's working on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. You go in and it's like out of like a movie, where like there's like the main character and just like everybody knows them and is like friends with them. Like that's Peter. And if somebody's walking around one of the most prestigious institutions in the world and he's the main character, I think that means a lot. So thank you, Peter, for being up here.
So
Corey, you had something you want to
please,
add there?
no, I'm just saying he is. I've spoken to him in a few of these rooms, and it's like it's like having your Jewish dad beside you, just like patting you on the back and saying, "You know what, kid? You might have been a fuck up, but you're gonna be okay." And my way of giving back to every single person is to be able to, again, we all have our story and all that, but if I can help you like that and support you in any way, and if opening a network to get you guys awareness is what you're struggling with, and this is a mental health angle, dude, you've connected with the right person. Just DM me, or let's figure out a way to, if you want to send me your email, however you want to communicate. I want to get you onto, there's a couple, I'm producing shows now for Benzinga, for 137, for a list of them as a publicist, and just really helping people with their brand, whether it's our projects. And I want to place you on there, and depending on how good the project is, I want to get you in front of Gary Vee. And I can't make promises, so please don't mark my words on this, but I would love to work with you to get you there. And if that's something that I can help you with, then you know what, let's start 2022 off right.
Awesome. The connecting, guys, the connecting, this is what this is all about, and you've got Gav and Wolf, and I'm known as the connector. And for me, it's all about, look, doing shit alone is meaningless. The power that we have together as a team, right? I mean, connecting others to the possibilities, right? This is what's so amazing about this Twitter space too, and everything that Gav does. And it's a matter of, if I open my doors to everybody I know, and I am here to empower all those who are on this journey together with me, I don't need to do shit alone, guys. That's meaningless to me. I don't give a shit about dying with the most toys. That is not what it's about. If I can change somebody's life, one person, in a positive way by connecting us all together to do something good, that's what it's all about. That's the mission.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Peter is really the connector. And I want to definitely keep this sentiment going, but I want to get everybody involved. And we have one more person who hasn't had a chance to speak yet. Also, if you're listening, you hear the connections that can be made. And guess what? If you follow the people up here, you'll be in more spaces with them. You'll see their content on your timeline. You'll be able to engage with them. Hopefully, if you're putting out content too, you'll be able to get that follow back. So I would say go ahead around this panel to, Peter and Aaron and Ashley and Ghost and Dutch and Corey and Christine and Luke, and definitely throw them that follow. You cannot go wrong. All OGs in my eyes, and all people that are very knowledgeable, and above all else, they're passionate. They put in the
And
hours.
if you'll see last night what I did to Logic, we were in a room talking about artist NFTs, and it started at 8 o'clock, and he wanted to close it for 11, and then I pushed to 12, and then I'm like, fuck you, Logic, and I brought in Blau, and I brought in Sunny Digital, and I brought in Thank You X, and I brought in what was his name, the other producer, Carter Got Wings, and you have 5 of these like massive Grammy-winning musicians talking about IP protection and creating yourself, and like, dude, that shit that you pay $1,000 at a conference to hear people speak about, and they're literally in front of you and putting your hand up and asking them questions, and Blau is in there talking to people, and I'm telling you now, 99% of what you're gonna get out of anything in this industry is fucking what you put into it and participating and sitting here. And I'm telling you, the hours that I've been putting in here, I'm not doing it for the goodness of my health, because I've been sleeping in days. It's because for the greater good. And we need to prove that we are a very inclusive, accommodating, empowering community. There's a lot of strong women there. There's a lot of men up here, but there's a lot of really strong women below us. And if I need to go down to create space for another strong woman below us here to come up and speak, so be it, because that's another conversation that there's been, is that there needs to be more women up here talking about the project that they're working on. And Unicorn, I want to go in there and see if I can mint, or how I can become part of it, so I can officially say that I'm part of your crew, or whatever the fuck we call it. But we are connected now, and you have my word. Emails are going to go out, and we're going to make something happen for you.
I love you, Corey. Thank you. Yeah,
Love it
unicorn.
too. Yeah, Corey, it's definitely important. I think, this is such a cool space because there is so much representation from everybody, and it is about the time that you put in. And I watched Aaron go through the process of going and learning coding, and we spent, what, Aaron, hours and hours on the phone. We were just sitting there, and we're both working on something and just like keeping communication. So I've seen this come together, and yes, 100%. Some of the most strong and powerful women that I've met on here are on this panel right now, and we would have Doll on here too if she wasn't, recovering, and a bunch of others. We do try to keep that up. So thank you to everybody that's been doing that. Aaron, you had a comment there?
No, I just I love it, and I was actually talking in my Discord today. They were asking me for updates, and I'm actually sick right now. I think I'm such a perfectionist and trying to really help the community and grow everything and get everything finalized before launch. And you don't really realize how much comes into creating an NFT collection. And I've just built so much respect for the people who do this, because in 2021, in March, I thought you just took a picture of a JPEG and you sold it. And I didn't really know anything that went on behind the scenes. And then when I came to visit Peter and you on the New York Stock Exchange, I met the wonderful Boss Beauties collection, and they were asking me about the unicorns. And I was like, well, it's just me working on the project. And they're like, honey, how are you doing that? We have a team of like 7. And, 6 months go by, and I'm like, well, shit, that's exactly why 6 months have gone by, because it's just me doing this by myself every night until 3 in the morning. I sleep 4 hours every night. Like, now I think about it, I know I'm sick. I'm running myself into the ground doing this, but it's made me really appreciate like all of the work put into these projects. And you're right, like I've fallen absolutely head over heels with this project. Like I don't even really focus on anything else anymore. I love the community, like seeing how the feedback from these spaces that we have, the mental health spaces that we've had like once or twice a week, and the people that want to come up and talk about what they struggle with. And we plan them for about an hour and a half, and they'll end up going for 4 hours or longer if they could. It's because people need this. Like, we need this break, and we need this breath of fresh air to know that someone else is struggling with us and we're not alone. And we can find solace in this community together. So I just really respect all of you and love y'all. And Corey, I definitely sent you a DM. Peter will be on it with me as like my board of directors, but I've got some good contacts with Benzinga. I love all the guys there, but just helping is helping, and like the community, this is what it is all about. And I'm just really excited for the future of NFTs, and you guys are like badass friends to have online and hopefully in real life. So thank you guys.
Of course. Okay. And also thank you to everybody that's made so much happen. I mentioned all the other accounts. Now, I'm not necessarily, I'm supporting a lot of NFT projects right now, but more of my goal is to be a place to give a platform. And that's what I plan on building. If anybody saw my New Year's resolutions. So I do run the Wolf account. I also run this account. I'm just trying to get this account to 10K right now. And then I might do more fun Wolf account. I'm like 125 followers from it. That was my goal for last year, was 10K on this account, but I got all my spaces messed up. I couldn't host for the last month, but I'm back, baby. So thank you to everybody that's been following tonight. I will make it worth your while. My goal is 1,500 hours of spaces in 2022. I'm going to host an NFT space every single week. I'm going to host a crypto space every single week, and I will have probably about 13 other spaces assorted through every single topic of finance. We are going to educate tens of thousands of people on how to create generational wealth for themselves. This is the 4th space I'm doing today, just for reference. And that's what I'm throwing my whole life into in 2022. So thanks to everybody that's making this work for me and allowing me to basically go full time with this and just make this a lifestyle. Okay, Christine, we're coming to you. Would love to get you involved. What's been going on? What'd you learn from 2021? What are you taking into 2022? What projects are you liking right now?
Hi guys, and Gav, I just want to say thank you for having me as again for the second time today. It's hard to follow all these stories. It's so beautiful. I know that I'm friends with almost everyone on the panel, and I'm just so proud of you guys with all the projects that you guys have launched. And we always say this, in NFT space is definitely in its infancy. We're early. I know it's cliche to say that, but we are, and we're learning. And I think what I would have to say for 2021, I first got introduced to NFTs in March, and I'm an in real life artist. So the process and the transition was weird to me. Like, I believe what the blonde broker was saying too was, she thought it was just like a JPEG and then you put it up. So I thought you just drew something and you put it up, which you can, right? Like, there's other avenues, not just OpenSea, like Hen and stuff like that they cater to that. But I was very confused on like the 10K projects and stuff like that. I believe a lot of people went into this space in the beginning of this year thinking that same way, that you just create art with no actual utility and then that it would sell out. And then what I've witnessed and what I love is in real life purpose and utility and things that actually stand for something big. And, it shows a lot of people's heart. And I love that. I love listening to all my friends up here. It's like, it makes me so proud to know them and be part of their Twitter family, and have this like brotherhood with them and sisterhood, because it's amazing to see. And this space is definitely full of innovation and creativity. And what I'm most excited about is just really seeing the purpose for a lot of the NFTs coming out, and a lot of them are charitable. I think that for 2022, that's what I'm most interested in, projects to get into that provide real utility for people, whether it is charitable or it's actual, services or something of that sort. And yeah, I think my biggest lesson was not to just ape into projects that I think are cute and I don't know anything about it and I just run into it. Lucas knows this because he witnessed me aping into things and he had to like lecture me a couple times. But yeah, so I've definitely learned to research and look into the team and see what they're about and the utility. And I feel that as every day goes by, a day in the NFT space is like 6 months, I think. And it moves fast. I believe that the projects are getting a lot more quality and less scammy, hopefully. And I think we're also being able to spot a lot of the not so good projects nowadays and be able to share the education that we learn in this space. And I'm very excited for 2022. And I think it's a good start. And I love that we have this family to support and onboard new people as well.
Love it. It definitely is a family. It's so cool, the people that you can meet, and we just saw it right here with Corey and Aaron, and then Corey name dropping like three of my favorite artists and things happening like that. I
Oh,
also
Gavin, I've already DM'd Sunny to try to come in here because I want him talking about the
who?
money side, Sunny Digital. So
Oh,
Sunny
nice.
Digital produced a couple. Anyways, he's a very, very. If you look up Sunny Digital, he's a very, very well known Atlanta. Him and like Metro Boomin are two of the most prolific Atlanta hip hop producers, and they're very heavy in NFTs and learning about it. And they're really, really, really wanting to learn and understand all that jazz. And they hop in here and they ask real questions, and you can talk to them and understand. And you know what I mean?
I love it. And I also want to say, we've just had some really cool people in the audience and people that came up. I don't know if anybody else saw, I got a screenshot. Rarible was in here for like 20 minutes, just chilling and listening. I'm going to try to get OpenSea on a space. That's one of my goals for the next month or two. I want to get them to come on a space. I had on two CEOs of crypto firms, actually today, just on spaces. This morning, I brought Brett Harrison, the president of FTX US, onto spaces, grilled the dude for an hour. I gave him no questions ahead of time, and I have very little loyalty to a single platform there. So he just came on and just dove right in. Also brought on Patrick Manfra, who's the CEO of Outlet Finance, just before in the last space, which was great to teach people about crypto staking. But speaking, as Corey was, of strong, powerful women, we've got Carol Baskin in the house. So
Hmm.
I love to see
Hey,
that.
all
What's going
you
on,
cool
Carol?
cats and kittens.
I've been waiting all my life for
Yeah.
that. How are
Hey,
you, Carol?
Carol, how you doing?
Great to see
Carol,
you.
Hey,
I'm a
Carol.
big
Hi, Carol.
I'm an advisor to the Typical Tigers. So thank you for being involved in that. I love that you're a Typical Tiger. We were just talking to 137 and Gary's team about what's going on there, and it's awesome that you're like here right now because I literally just missed Tyler's. I wasn't able to do it yesterday, but thank you. That's all.
Well, you guys absolutely made history yesterday because it's the first time that NFT sales have actually made the rescue of 11 tigers from a horrible Phuket zoo in Thailand so that they're being sent to a sanctuary. And you guys did it with a $10,000 donation. So thank you so much, everybody at Typical Tigers. And a huge shout out to Ashley DeCan for giving me my name, carolbaskin.eth. Thank you. I am so overwhelmed at your generosity, and everybody in this space has just been so wonderful.
Isn't
Of
Ashley the
course.
coolest? Ashley's right now hosting me so I could travel and just host spaces and stuff. And she's earlier today. She's like, yeah, I just gave Carol Baskin her dot ETH. I'm like, you did what? And she was just like, yeah, like we were chatting on a space. Ashley's the coolest, by the way. If you're not already following her, we got to blow up her account. Not that it isn't already blowing up and she gets like a shit ton of engagement, like 1 million impressions a day, which is so cool to see because she deserves all of it. But we got to do more. We got to get her everything. She deserves it all.
Oh, I love you guys. Y'all are so sweet. And I love you, Carol Baskin. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you like your ETH address.
Yeah,
I
that's a
so
nice.
appreciate it. You spelled my name right, even, which is amazing.
That's
She
a
got the
nice.
E.
That's a
Is there
nice
another? Is there another way to spell it?
Tiger Queen.
No, I meant when she says Tiger Carol Baskin. Sorry, is it Carol
I
Baskin
guess
or Tiger Queen?
people misspell Carol is what my assumption is there.
Oh,
Um,
sorry.
Actually, all of the bad guys call me Carol Baskins, and they leave the E off of Carol and add an S onto Baskin. And Ashley actually spelled it with the E and no S, so I was
I
just
think they're
thrilled.
trolling you, Carol. I think they're just doing it to bother you.
I think you're right.
They really
I
are. It's all the Tiger King people.
I want to get back to Carol too, but yeah, I was about to throw it to you, Fiddy. I saw we had the founder of Apocalyptic Apes, one of the projects which is just all over my timeline nowadays. Everybody, Ashley's like, I got 3 of them. I'm like, how do I get my hands on this? I know Nick Small was up here. And I saw you requested to come up, and I was really excited. Would love to hear about both your project and any comments you had on the space.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, guys. I wanted to also ask Carol real quick. Carol, did you ever find out about that ape? Because we do want to help rescue that ape that they have in Thailand.
Yeah, it turned out that the leg wasn't able to be saved, so I don't think they're going to be able to release the primate, but she is at the Thailand facility. And he's also got a number of other animals, including a chimpanzee there at the sanctuary in Thailand. It's Wildlife Friends Foundation, so be sure and reach out to Edwin. You've got his email.
Yeah, for sure. I'll reach out tomorrow. But I'm glad Teddy stepped up and took care of that. Good job, Teddy. So how are you guys today?
Well, I'm living the dream.
Fantastic. I
Nice to
actually,
meet
I
you, Fiddy.
actually, go ahead.
And I was just saying, nice to meet you, bud.
Nice to meet you too. Yeah, I actually had a regular day. I went to bed at 12 last night, which is the first time I went to sleep before 4 or 5 in the morning. Got up, actually went out to breakfast, had a normal day, exercised. It's just more productive. It's something I need to start doing regularly. But my project is just really doing amazing. The community is really blowing up. I've got so much support and so much love from this community. I really appreciate all of you for kind of stepping up and coming in. And I mean, I've had Bored Ape guys selling their mutants just to buy our Apocalyptic Apes, and we're super excited because we're going to be releasing our Queen Apes collection in February, and that's going to be run by an all-female team, led by STEM Queen, who is absolutely amazing. And we're going to have 10 unique apes, and those apes in those Queen Apes are all going to have, each one will have a donation to each female charity. So each unique ape will have a charity assigned to it. We haven't really released that. And we're also having an artist coming in who's a female artist to do the one-of-ones with Hattie, our artist. So we're really excited about our next release.
That's awesome. I love to see it. I'm really excited. Like I said, been all over my timeline. Seems like all my friends are really involved too. And that's one of the things I find is people in the NFT space, right? Especially when you find somebody who's really good at it, like that can do due diligence. Like Ashley will literally tell you, I came over the other day because someone DM'd me and they wanted to speak on a space. I was like, Ashley, can you like do some due diligence on this for me? And she was able to dive in. So when I have people like Ashley and others that are now owning your project and want to hold it, it means so much to me to be able to place that trust. And that's a lot of how I do due diligence via spaces. I actually was saying last year, maybe even relied too much on it. I just come on to spaces and try to get as many experts as possible on a specific topic and then just start the discussion, ask the right questions, and bring out that knowledge so everybody can be learning together. And it's a great way because I can go into a one-on-one with people, right? I do it all the time. I try to get into Zooms and I can ask them questions, but this way hundreds, if not thousands of people can learn at a time. We also record these, right? So people can listen to them afterwards and reference back. And I just see so much more opportunities coming. And again, I'm sure we all say this all the time. I tweeted it the other day, but we are so goddamn early. So we're just getting started with things that are going on. I see the typical Tigers requesting. Is that a project that you just referenced, Carol?
Yes, that's the one that's the one we were just talking about.
All right, we can bring them up for a sec.
So typical Tigers, just to give you guys some context, is exactly what we were just talking about. Really proud to be working with them. Funny enough, when I minted mine, my tiger was apparently really rare, and they were all freaking out about it. But it's a really, really, really tight-knit community of people, and the utility is the giving back to saving the tigers. And Listen, Carol Baskin believes in them, so that's got to be real.
What's up,
Love it.
Carol? What's up, guys?
They
What's
put their
up?
money where their mouth was.
I bought a typical tiger because I heard you guys in a space the other night. I minted one and I love it and I love the cause, and definitely y'all are gems. Y'all are unique in your own way, so I'm gonna give you guys some unique unicorns too. Just I love what you guys are doing and I'm glad to be part of the project as well.
Thank
Rawr.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Much deserved too. Typical Tigers has been out here as well. It's good to see you as well. I've seen him in multiple spaces for marketing
Yeah.
before he even caught steam. So, bro, big props to you. That's why, when you did catch the steam, I was like, that is steam much deserved. Good to see it, my guy.
Yeah, great job, Teddy. I'm super proud of you, man.
Hey,
Thank you.
just
Thank you.
bringing it around real quick, and then we can dive more into some of this stuff. But I think everybody's kind of been getting in and speaking, and I had reached out to Luke to be my co-host for tonight. I was so glad that he accepted, and we're able to do this together. And Luke, I just want to see, you haven't had a ton of chances to speak tonight. Are there any topics you want to come in with, any comments, or just any follow-ups? Just wanted to give you the stage.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to everybody that's here. I mean, everybody's given so much input. I love the mental health aspect of the unicorns, and I love how much Corey is willing to support that. I love Carol Baskin being here, and I remember, interviewing her on her first drop. So it's just amazing to have her in the room. She's such a kind and generous person, and yeah, everybody else on this panel, I'm just super grateful to be friends with all you guys, be able to call you friends, and look forward to 2022. A very strong 2022 for Gav and all the rest of you. This is going to be a lot of fun, and we're all going to grow together. This is going to be great.
Yeah, big shout out to Luke. It's so cool. And I think a lot of people in this space can probably relate to this. It seems like everything these days happens for a reason. And not just everything happens for a reason, but it seems like the timing is uncanny when things are happening. Small example, Luke convincing me to buy the newest iPhone instead of an old refurbished one very recently. And it just was everything lining up. And then just now I'm getting to travel too. I was just in Miami. Now I'm in Texas, and just things are lining up. And this space, I feel like lined up right. This timing where half these people that are on this panel, kind of showed up and added so much value to it when we didn't even know they were going to come in. And I'm excited to see this going forward. I feel like 2022 is hopefully the year where not only do we see uncanny events lining up in timing, but we see the reasoning behind them too. And hopefully we don't have to wait too long for that reasoning to come to fruition. And once again, this Gob account is so close to 10K. For anyone who's unfamiliar, I started the Wolf account last year, actually in September of 2020, I guess, and took it from 29 followers on January 1st to 41,000 on December 31st. And now doing it with the Gob account, going to hit 10K, I think, tonight. So thanks to everybody that's joining up with that. And again, I will be on spaces like all day, trying to bring in my friends and trying to be a connector and give people highlights and opportunities. Now, we can bring in a couple of people perhaps from the crowd. Just want to do a couple more comments around here because I'm having so much fun with this panel. I can throw it back to the Tigers because you just had a second there. If you wanted to input anything else just about the project so people can hear about it. Sounds like there's a lot of support up here. Then I want to give MetaDutch a minute or two to chime in, and then we'll circle. So all you typical Tigers.
Happy to show my tiger right now, too.
Thank you. Thank you guys for coming on the space. Thank you, Carol. I see you've been very active on the Twitter spaces. Sounds like you've been getting the hang of those. It's one of the main things that we've utilized to get reach and just utilize our organic growth because, again, we don't really like paying any influencers or promoters to help put our stuff out. We really want to find people who want to help support our cause. And so I guess I'll talk a little bit about our project and what we've been doing with Carol and everything. So when we were doing our research on what project we wanted to put out, we obviously wanted to do an animal PFP style, and we saw that there weren't any solidified tiger projects, and not only that, they were a very endangered species. In fact, there were only 3,900 of them in the wild right now, and so that's why we released a collection of 3,900 of these typical tigers, and we're actually still minting now. If anyone is interested in at 0.03, all the links are in the bio and everything. And so what we did was we pledged 10% of our mint proceedings to help foundations that are helping to save the tigers. And last week we were on a space with Carol, and she informed us about a very urgent situation that was happening at a zoo in Thailand where 11 of these tigers were in need of help. And so we figured this would be the perfect time to make our first donation, because I know that we were talking a lot about donating, and we wanted to, like Carol said, put our money where our mouth is and be completely transparent with everyone. And so what we did last night was we sent $10,000 to the Big Cat Rescue, which is Carol's organization, and she's going to be sending those $10,000 to the organization that is helping to save those 11 tigers in Thailand. And we actually made some history last night by being the first project that is helping to save tigers through the sale of NFTs, and we'll be participating in the largest tiger rescue in Thailand history. And I mean, this is really only the beginning for us. We really wanted to, go on this journey and help bring awareness and obviously raise money towards this cause, because I can't tell you how many times we've gone up in spaces and have said, like, tigers are endangered, only 3,900 of them. And it's an eye opener. Everyone's like, what? I had no idea about that. And we want to make sure that people understand that this is a cause that needs more awareness towards. And we figured what better way to do it for the first time than through the sale of NFTs. And so we've been, again, hopping in on these spaces, partnering with a bunch of these projects to help raise awareness towards that. And definitely been a grind. We've been hosting spaces, 3 to 4 times a week. We actually have to go soon because I'm hosting a different space with the Blue Chimp, so I'm going to be on there. But yeah, that's what we've been doing. We're minting now. If anyone wants to help support the cause, again, that was only our first donation of many that we're going to be putting out there. And always happy to answer any questions about the project and anything that we have going on there.
Teddy, how many more do you have to mint? Because I have a couple people that want to come in and just grab most of them.
So